What if I told you that in just a few years, the United States could be spending more on its debt than on its own people? It sounds shocking, but this is exactly the warning coming from top economic experts. By 2030, America's budget deficit is expected to reach a level that could reshape its entire financial future, and possibly impact the global economy as well. According to projections by the Congressional Budget Office, the US deficit is likely to climb to around 5.9% of its total economic output, or GDP, by the end of this decade. This may sound like just a number, but the reality behind it is serious. A deficit means the government is spending much more than it earns, and to cover this gap, it keeps borrowing money. Over time, this borrowing turns into a massive national debt. What is even more concerning is where the money is going. Experts say that by 2030, the amount the US will spend just on paying interest on its debt could become larger than what it spends on key public programs like Social Security. It could also match spending on major healthcare programs such as Medicare and Medicaid. In simple terms, more money will go into paying past loans rather than helping citizens today. Reports from major outlets like CNBC and Reuters highlight that rising interest rates are a key reason behind this trend. When interest rates go up, the cost of borrowing also increases. Since the US already has a very large debt, even a small increase in interest rates can add hundreds of billions of dollars in extra costs every year. Another important factor is government spending. Over the years, the US has increased spending on defense, healthcare, and social programs, while tax revenues have not grown at the same pace. Tax cuts in previous years have also reduced government income. This imbalance is pushing the deficit higher and higher. The International Monetary Fund has also warned that the US fiscal path is becoming unsustainable in the long term. If the situation continues, it could weaken investor confidence. When investors start losing trust, they may demand higher returns for lending money, which would make borrowing even more expensive for the US government. This issue is not just an American problem, it has global consequences. The US dollar is the world's main reserve currency, and US Treasury bonds are considered one of the safest investments. If the US struggles with its debt, it could create uncertainty in global financial markets. Countries like China, Japan, and even developing nations that hold US debt could feel the impact. Some economists argue that the US still has time to fix this problem. They suggest a mix of solutions, such as reducing unnecessary spending, increasing taxes for higher income groups, and improving economic growth. A stronger economy means higher tax revenues, which can help reduce the deficit over time. However, the political situation makes things more complicated. In Washington, there is often disagreement between lawmakers on how to handle the budget. Some want spending cuts, while others prefer increasing taxes. This political divide slows down decision-making, allowing the problem to grow bigger. In simple words, the United States is heading toward a future where it may spend more money on its past debts than on its present needs. This is a warning sign that cannot be ignored. While the US remains a powerful economy, the rising deficit is like a ticking clock. If action is not taken soon, the consequences could be felt not just in America, but across the entire world economy. At the same time, another global power is moving quickly in a very different direction. China is investing heavily in future technologies, and by 2030, it aims to become a world leader in innovation. Under national strategies like Made in China 2025, the country has focused on building strength in areas such as artificial intelligence, robotics, and advanced manufacturing. Reports from Bloomberg and Financial Times suggest that China is already closing the gap with the West in many high-tech sectors, especially in AI development and smart infrastructure. One of the biggest advantages China has is its massive data ecosystem and strong government support. Tech giants like Huawei and Tencent are leading innovations in 5G networks, cloud computing, and digital platforms. China is also far ahead in building smart cities, where data is used to manage traffic, security, and energy systems efficiently. According to studies highlighted by McKinsey & Company, China could become the largest market for artificial intelligence by 2030, creating trillions of dollars in economic value. At the same time, China is pushing hard in strategic sectors like semiconductors and green technology. The government is investing billions to reduce dependence on foreign chips and build its own supply chains.
Thank you for watching. To keep yourself updated, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to receive every notification.